So this is a culture, let's say that the traditional state, if you take. So traditionally states, they have promoted secrecy culture. Even they had law to maintain secrecy, promote secrecy, like say the Official Secret Act. And that kind of law can be found in any country, let's say. It is not in India also. US also had law, UK also had law. So it remained one nature of the state in traditional sense. They protected their secrecy. This because secrecy was needed to protect their power and let's say that protect their authority so that they can be more authoritative. Secrecy was needed to protect their failures from citizens so that they can remain superior. Because when failures come in public, so then your superiority is questioned, your relevance is questioned. So that we can consider. The even oath of secrecy they have, and let's say bureaucracy, bureaucracy and secrecy both are synonymous also, because bureaucracy is known for secrecy culture. Because bureaucracy is also bound by Official Secret Act, you can say that. Bureaucracy is also bound by Indian Evidence Act. It is also bound by Indian Evidence Act. Now, this secrecy culture, you know that it became basis for this culture. It became basis for right, arbitrary exercise of power. Arbitrary exercise of power. Right. This hiding failures. Hiding failures, this exercising power with impunity, exercising power with impunity, let's say. So that is how we'll find that. So somehow these things, let's say that affected constitutionalism, constitutional governance, let's say that, or it affected, let's say that liberty and property of citizen. Okay. This threatened. Hiding failures, impunity plus corruption. It promoted corruption. This is how I can say this. Next, you should know that this even, let's say, some examples we can give even now, let's say, like say demonetization. You know that RTI was rejected. Someone apply RTI, the information was not disclosed. This you can say this. Right. Similarly, let's say electoral bond. So initially, let's say information was rejected, but now through RTI, you know that it is RTI which has brought disclosure.
Demonetization also later it was disclosed?
No. Demonetization, I don't think that there is disclosure. RBI rejected information on demonetization.
The government didn't give permission to RBI before.
वो तो कोर्ट को सबमिशन किया था उन्होंने.
तो information
They had to submit to the court. The court से वो आया information.
The court says.
Right. उन्होंने they submitted to the court about how they took decision on 8 November. Right. The submission to court brought that information in public. So even today we can consider about how you'll find that today also you can see how electoral bonds. So ultimately when electoral bonds related judgment you have, it is because of RTI. RTI was applied, although delay it resulted. Initially information not given, but RTI activists, let's say that. So through that it was disclosed. The RTI disclosed that what was the view of Election Commission of India and what was the view of RBI. Government on the floor of Parliament told, especially Finance Minister, that RBI and Election Commission of India did not give negative view on electoral bond. But when RTI was applied, so then through RTI it was disclosed that RBI and Election Commission of India both were against electoral bond. This, they were against electoral bond. This exact view we will tell you when we'll take you that what we can say representation, right? Representative, what we can say. Representation of People's Act means will deal Election Commission of India. Basically demonetization, if you take electoral bonds, you can see when present when you have the RTI. Still, let's say it is a case where it is not disclosed, or if it is disclosed, how RTI can benefit. Right. Electoral bond is a basis mechanism to fund elections. You can, if you want to fund any political party, you can go to State Bank of India, you can buy the bond, let's say, one which is called, right, what we can say that, means it is a bond, let's say, you can pay money in return of that bond. That money will be deposited in that political party account. No any benefit. बेनिफिट ये है कि डेमोक्रेसी यू आर सपोर्टिंग, right? Benefit related to, let's say, others will have a different level of benefit, right? Those who are concerned citizens, they will fund. Basically, let's say, corporate bodies will fund political parties. Yes.
It will also lead to corruption in that sense.
Yes, that is how the issue is going on. This is how court is, let's say, it has given judgment on this. The hearing, I think, hearing is going on this. Anyhow, let's come. So what we are saying is that traditionally, if you find it, traditionally this state had culture of secrecy and arbitrary, let's say, exercise of powers. And let's say that contemporary times, what happens basically, if you take 1990s, the 1990s, there is more and more emphasis on democratization, decentralization, citizens' participation. This, or let's say that we have told about governance. There is more emphasis on governance and let's say democratization. Democratization. Like you should know that governance had 4 characteristics we had told. Right. In 1989, when World Bank gave, let's give characteristics of governance, the one characteristics was related to transparency. So, on the one hand, there was a secrecy culture. On the other hand, let's say in recent times, we have started talking or giving more emphasis on governance, participation, democratization, transparency. These both factors, let's say, both factors have ultimately resulted into emergence of RTI. Let's say we have, let's say, brought RTI. Other countries have also brought RTI. And these things will try to counter these things. These things will try to counter these things, let's say, basically. So these developments, plus traditionally it was, then we realized that, we need to move towards greater transparency rather than secrecy.